Hi guys, welcome to my video and my YouTube channel. My name is Ronnie and I'm making this awesome game called Cyber, which you can actually go into Steam right now and play it just for free. In this video I will talk a little about some of the latest updates I've put into this playtest on Steam. I will talk a little about the playtest itself, wishlist numbers, things like that. So guys, sit back, grab a cup of coffee and some popcorn and let's begin. So let's just talk about the numbers first, right? The wishlist for Cyber right now is just about to hit 4,000, which is absolutely mind-blowing if you ask me. It has been stalling around 2,000 for since I announced the trailer, I don't know, 4 months back, right? And then it kind of stopped. Then after I released this playtest like 3 weeks ago, I have gotten more and more wishlist. And we are about to hit 4,000 now, which is just mind-blowing to me that 4,000 people are interested in this game. I'm sitting here making on my own in Denmark somewhere, right? And I mean, everyone, all these smart people on the internet, how to market a game, Chris something is saying that you should not release your game unless you have above 5,000 or 7,000 wishlist, right? If you don't have that, then you're not gonna sell a lot of copies, right? So I'm closing in on those numbers, so and that gives me a little more confidence when they're releasing this game in 2 months. So it's exciting times, guys, and I'm looking forward to getting this game out there. Actually, it's already out there now. I have this playtest running. You can go and play the game. Give me some feedback on Discord. If you find any bugs, please let me know. This has been super helpful so far with this playtest, which is running on week number 3 now. And since I started this playtest on the game, which is basically a free early access, right? You can just play the game for free. Since I released this playtest 3 weeks ago, I have gotten more wishlist numbers. So it would kind of be stupid for me to take this playtest down when it helps me raise these numbers I need to get up. But at some point I need to stop this playtest. I'm refining and polishing this playtest like a madman, right? Because I want this playtest to turn into the demo, which I will release later on. I will release it, about the 1st October. This playtest has become the new demo, and I will release it around the 1st October, and 14 days later the Steam Next Fest will be live, and the demo will join that Next Fest. Some weeks after that there's the Steam Scream Fest going live, which will be a focus on Halloween type horror games. And Cyber are also going to be part of Steam Scream Fest in late October. And I'm thinking about releasing the game, the full game, version 1, during that Scream Fest. Anyway, what am I talking about here? You want to hear about the zombie rats, right? Well, let's get into those zombie rats. So the rats in this game are procedurally generated, which means that they will get a random name, a random number, a random model or skin or whatever we choose to call it. And then they get random colors. That is how the system works. And I mean, it's fun to make these rats, but it also takes some time. And lately I have been fiddling around with a workflow so I can easily make more rats. And I'm starting with these zombie rats. Fairly easy to make a rat into a zombie, right? You just cut some holes into it, put some material on in the hole that looks like blood, and then you more or less have a zombie rat. And then you can take one of the eyes and turn it white. You can turn both eyes white and you have an awesome looking zombie rat. And again, the process for making these rats are super simple. I have these 3 basic rat models. I have the skinny rat, the normal rat and the fat rat. So I make a clone of one of these rats I'm going to work on, and then I just modify this model. When that is done, I have this weird, a little complicated system where I am vertex painting different areas on these rats, like the area where I want blood to be. I paint that blue in Blender. Yes, that makes sense, blue. And then in Unreal, I have made a material setup. So everywhere there's blue on this rat, I will use like these colors, like red and black, dark red colors, and mix it up with a noise texture. So we get red combined with black, which gives the blood on these wounds some variation, and I think it looks awesome. Give it some specularity so it kind of shines, so it looks red, and you have an awesome looking wound. And again, these wounds are fairly easy to create in Blender. Go into sculpt mode, turn on Dino Mesh, start cutting out your hole, and that's basically it. And then when you have cut out your hole, you go around the edges of the hole and you kind of raise the mesh a little so it looks like the wound is kind of, bulging up a bit around the wounds, and it just looks super awesome. So making these zombie rats is a lot of fun, and it's fairly easy. And if I dig, a little too much into the mesh of this rat, I need you to see some bones underneath, right? All the bones from the legs, from the spine, all that stuff needs to be visible if the wound is getting too deep. And having a wound where there's a bone that's sticking out, it's just looking awesome, and it's super zombie-like. So another thing I have spent a lot of time on doing this playtest and before that is the menu system. To begin with, this game was not meant to be a very heavy menu system game, but it turns out that you cannot really have a game without an awesome menu. And working with menus and buttons and all that stuff in Unreal Engine is just a real pain in the ass, and it's so confusing, and it's so difficult to line things up. Everything you see in this menu has been aligned just by me looking at it, see if it looks off, because aligning things is just a nightmare for me. Maybe it's because I'm an idiot, I don't know, but I just can't figure this menu system out in Unreal Engine. It's nuts. So it's just super important to have a really good looking menu system. Just menus in general. It's the first thing that the player sees when he opens up the game. You have to have a badass start screen, right? And then when you press start, you have to go into, start the game or go into an awesome looking menu like this one where you have 3 rats. You can select which one you want to go into the maze. When you select the rat, you get this new menu I have made where I have moved the rat all the way to the left, and then we have all the options to the right in small categorized sections. I have made a new currency for the game. Before, you were picking up different colored coins and upgrading and reviving using these different colored coins. But it didn't make a lot of sense to have coins floating around down in the maze. So I turned these coins into, DNA strings. DNA, life DNA, I call it. So it will bring a rat back to life if you use a life DNA. Then I made this upgrade atom, which will be a currency for upgrading the different stats on your rat, like stamina, hearing, sight, all these different things you can upgrade. You do that with upgrade atoms, right? So it keeps everything in the theme of sci-fi, cyberpunk, laboratory experiments, DNA, atoms, molecules, all that stuff, right? So it's very science-like now, super science. And also the pickups for these new items are just looking awesome in the maze. You want to go and pick up these upgrade atoms because they're glowing, they have nice shapes, they're spinning around. What's not to like? They look awesome. So the last thing I want to talk about I have added is this jump scare. I always wanted to have some kind of scary elements that will spook you in these mazes, but I'm also not a big fan of jump scares that just jumps into your face like a demon face JPEG just getting turned on in front of the camera. I think that is super cheap and it's just not fun. So I want to integrate these jump scares into the mazes, like they're put in there to test out how the rats will react when they're getting jump scared like this, right? And of course it is a jump scare, so you will get jumped. But making it into one of these, like the first example is a Jack in a box kind of thing, where you have this box and then a clown on a spring jumps up and scares the shit out of you when you open the box. So I just took that concept. Instead of a clown head, I used a cat head because, you know, rats are scared of cats, right? So it's just a cat head that jumps up with a cat sound and some stinger like sound effect. And I think it's super cool. There's a 50% chance that this jump scare will be in one of the mazes. There's also a big chance that you won't see it because you turn the camera around and it spawns behind you and it is not really effective, but doesn't matter. Sometimes it gets you. When I'm testing the game, I'm running around looking for a life DNA to see how it looks, and then this cat jumps up in front of me, and it's when you're playing around with the toy, pushing the toys around, trying to get it to those toy collectors, and one of those cats jumps out of the ground from nowhere. It does get you sometimes. I can guarantee that. And I'm trying to convince myself that I have made this jump scare a little more classy than just having something pop up right in front of the camera. Right? It's integrated into the world, so it kind of makes sense in the maze you run around in. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this small update about me and my game Cyber Rats. So go into Steam, wishlist the game, buy it when it gets released so I can earn some money, so I can work as a solo game developer in the future. I mean, that's the whole goal of everything for me, right? I want to be able to make games for a living alone here in my basement or wherever it is that I'm sitting, right? That's the dream, that's the goal, and I need your support. So guys, that's it. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time.